After the last Game Awards, Hogwarts Legacy received a ton of new players. Hardcore Harry Potter fans and curious newcomers are enjoying the adventures in the wizarding world. But unfortunately, the game has its ending. Thanks to the modding community, we can enhance our experience mid-game and even prolong the playthrough with additional content. So I'm here to present to you some of the best modifications that I've picked for Hogwarts Legacy. You're allowed to disagree with my expert opinion in the comments, and you can also suggest some of your favorite mods. I know you want me to stop yapping and start talking about mods, so without further ado, I ask you to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Let's begin with the mods showcase. With not so recent updates, the game developers broke a lot of mods from Nexus. So in this video, I will showcase still working mods from Nexus and official mods from CurseForge. You'll see the corresponding icon near the mod name, that way you'll know where I got it. Magic is the essential aspect of this universe. Thus, the quality and quantity of the spells significantly impact our playthrough. The Spells Enhanced mod adds a total of 20 new spells, which can be unlocked by natural progression, or they can be unlocked immediately by pressing F6 if you're that impatient. The mod includes 5 utility spells, 5 damage spells, 4 control spells, 3 force spells, and 3 unforgivable spells. These new spells allow us to teleport, cast even more fire attacks, and mess with enemies. The mod also adds some talent perks, that way our magical abilities become even deadlier. But it's not the only spell mod that I can offer. Although the spells and talents repeat some spells from the previous mod, it introduces interesting new spells like Aguamenti, Avis, Tarantalegra, and Call the Death. Aguamenti creates a stream of water that pushes the opponent and deals damage. Avis summons the origami birds that attack the enemy. Tarantalegra forces the enemies to dance, making them defenseless. The Call the Death spell revives the dead as inferi that fight on our side. 20 new perks can gradually enhance all the spells from this mod. We can level up spells from their initial, less effective state to a highly powerful form, significantly impacting our gameplay. To finish customizing our spell set, these 2 new spells might be a great addition to diversify our options. Both spells can be unlocked after completing specific game quests. Sectumsempra is an unforgivable curse that is a more powerful version of the Findo. Impedimenta, on the other hand, slows enemies, lifts them up and also deals damage on the first contact. Speaking of customization, if you expect to see the cosmetic character customization, sorry to break it to you, but you won't find it here. There's a wide variety of mods in this category, including them in this video would make it too long. So, if you want to see a customization mods video, make sure to leave a like. If we hit, let's say, 2000 likes, I will make a separate video on how to make your character look prettier. But back to the spells. Remove spell cooldown does exactly what its name suggests. It works incredibly well with both default and modded spells. I know that with this mod nothing will stop you from throwing Avada Kedavra at every creature on your way. So you need to understand that this mod makes the game incredibly easy and unbalanced. Enabling this mod for your first playthrough is highly not recommended. Even without all these new spells, there are simply not enough slots to fit everything in it. The QuickUtilities mod binds utility spells to another set of keys, letting you free up slots for combat spells and saving you from constantly rearranging your loadout. There's also a way to cast all the equipped spells without switching through your loadout. The mouse gesture to spell mod allows us to cast magic with mouse gestures, just like using a wand. Gestures are extremely simple, you just need to aim with your mouse and move it in different directions. You can see how it works on this image. For example, to cast the second spell from the third row, we need to move our mouse up and down. Or you go left, right and left if you want to cast the first spell from the fourth row. At first it feels very inconvenient, but the more you cast, the less you want to revert. However, if you still want more slots for your spells and you're not interested in those fancy gesture castings, I can suggest the extended adjustable hotbar. At first glance, yes, it's just like Minecraft. You can fill those slots with all the spells you want, and not only spells. You can place there your potions, throwables, or even your broom for easy access. To test new spells and just to spend some time, we can add a battle arena to the game. defeat waves of enemies and collect awards after the win. Although this arena mod has its own twist. With each new wave, we need to select a curse that will make the battle harder. For example, the curse can lower your health, increase the number of enemies and other similar stuff. However, if you're planning to use the spells and talents mod, keep in mind that using the Call the Death spell will trap you in that arena. The mod expects every creature to be defeated before progressing forward, and we unfortunately can't get rid of those inferior, so we're just stuck with them forever. We can also test our skills with the beast in the outside world. To enrich the selection of creatures, we can use the More Beasts, Dragons and Creatures mod. Thanks to it, we can meet different creatures in the world, such as dragons, phoenixes, centaurs and others. Dragons might be hard to find, but as soon as we do, they can definitely get you in trouble. But to lighten your misery in this wizarding world, you can always get yourself a pet. The Dekita battle pets can offer you a wide variety of little companions that will accompany you on your journey. Among the selection of creatures, you will find both magical beasts and regular animals, such as cats, rabbits or rams. These pets are customizable. We can name them, change their appearance, give them different abilities and make them stronger by leveling them up. As an alternative or addition, you can have your own wolf companion. Definitely a fearsome beast that can help both inside and outside of battle, since it can fight enemies and collect loot for you. Our wolf can also be customized by changing its name and fur color. However, you need to keep in mind that these companions will make the game easier, thus they are not suitable for the first playthrough. However, if the game is already too easy for you, even without any mods, you can use the Goblet Overhaul. The mod does a number of things, but will focus on the difficulty changing aspect. It offers easy, balanced and nightmare presets. Based on the configuration, the mod changes the amount of earned experience, adjusts damage, alters prices to be more challenging or forgiving, and modifies the duration of spell cooldowns. It's actually a pretty big mod, and it can take a lot of time simply by reading the description. So let's look at other mods that I have prepared for you. The house point system is a mod that adds a new mechanic to the game. After joining a certain house, we can earn points in a well-known competition. Points are awarded after completing daily, weekly or monthly tasks, and they can also change based on our behavior. For example, completing in-game quests will have a positive impact on our score, but using unforgivable spells will result in points deduction. By the end of the season, the winning house will be rewarded with some loot. The mod is very fun and can add a few hours to your playtime. The Wizard's Wand doesn't affect gameplay in any way, but it's still an important piece of equipment, and it's always nice to have plenty of designs to choose from. Wand Factory adds a separate menu where we can create a fully custom wand. Just choose a handle, the wand's shape and the material color. The mod replaces the player's default wand and isn't compatible with the game's original wand handles, so the handle section in the inventory will appear empty. If you're not interested in crafting anything and just want some fixed set of wands, I've got you covered. The Custom Wands menu offers 43 unique, equipable custom wands that we can access through the in-game Wand Handles menu. One of the most convenient features in Hogwarts Legacy is the ability to fast travel from almost any point. Lore-friendly Apparition is pushing a boundary and allows us to fast travel without using flu flames. We have already seen how wizards teleport in the game and in movies, so why don't we do the same? All it takes is just to place a waypoint on the map and double press a path guide button. By default, it's the V key. Even though fast travel is a pretty neat feature, I personally prefer flying around the map on my broom. But it's incredibly annoying when you try to pass over Hogsmeade and immediately get stopped by a magical wall. Thankfully, we can remove this restriction with the Fly in Hogsmeade mod. It allows you not only to fly over the city, but also to mount your broom when you're in Hogsmeade. Unfortunately, it's not the only restriction we can lift. Like, literally. Hogwarts Legacy has a height limit on how high you're allowed to fly. The Flying Height Unlocked mod removes that limit, allowing us to glide like an eagle in the endless sky. We can even fly over this mountain, which is very convenient. The sight is beautiful at this height, especially with the Free Look camera mod, since I can finally rotate the camera however I want. It comes in two versions. We can choose either to hold the camera button or to toggle it. Throughout the game we have an opportunity to upgrade our broom, but the whole process is a bit shallow and the result is hardly noticeable. But with better broom upgrades, everything starts to make sense. With each purchased broom upgrade, we get a set amount of points that we can spend on one out of the 4 improvements. This makes upgrades more customizable. To test every option from the menu and have a better understanding of how these upgrades change your broom, we can use the Broom Speedometer. It's a simple mod that allows us to measure our flying speed. The Dark Lightning broom, in my opinion, is the best looking broom in the game, heavily thanks to the magical trail it leaves behind. If that effect caught your eye as well, I have good news for you. The Trailblazer mod set adds several broom skins with similar trail effects. There are 7 options to choose from, making them a perfect fit for both light and dark wizard roleplay. But that's not all. All dark wizards and Slytherin fans will definitely love these 2 mods. Dark Arts Flight cranks the trail effects up to the max, turning both you and your broom into a cloud of dark magical mist. This effect creates the feel of a dangerous wizard or witch, but if you tire of it, you can toggle the mist on and off at any time. Additionally, the Dark Arts Dodge mod replaces the default Swift Dodge effect with a similar dark magical mist, which complements our dark magic style. Of course, if you're not into that shady magic stuff but still want a similar flight style, there's a mod for you as well. Instead of black smoke, your broom transforms into a stream of white, energy-like magic, giving it a more arcane and heroic feel. But nothing is more heroic and cool than having your own dragon to fly on. We can acquire them by visiting the broom vendor in Hogsmeade. For a small payment, you'll receive 3 massive dragons. They can only fly and will not breathe fire, but that's fine. We don't need more mods that simplify the game. But we do need mods that bring more challenge. As we all know, unforgivable curses are strictly prohibited in the wizarding world. But unfortunately, developers didn't bother to implement some cool mechanic around it. So as a result, we can Avada Kedavra anyone and face no consequences. Azkaban aims to improve this part. From now on, every time someone witnesses you casting an unforgivable spell, they will report you to the authorities. If they manage to catch you, and they definitely will, you'll be sent straight to the infamous prison Azkaban. Earlier, it would have meant a game over, but with a recent update, we have the ability to escape and see the outside world one more time. It would be great if we could look at it through the wizard's eyes. And we actually can. With the first-person mod, we can switch perspective whenever we want. Casting spells and flying on a broom become a completely different experience in first person. The mod is a bit janky since you can rotate your head a full 360, but despite that, it's incredibly fun to play this way. I also want to suggest some quality of life improvements. 2 simple buttons and my life became a bit easier. I don't have to sell items one by one anymore. Now I just press the sell all button and it's done. There's also a refresh stock button, in case you're not satisfied with the vendor's goods. Hogwarts Legacy also has this minigame that is completely useless and unnecessary. And I'm talking about luck picking. It doesn't matter whether you have level 1 or level 3 Alohomora, it's always the same. This mod simply skips that pointless activity and opens locks instantly. This one goes out for you, my lazy friends. The auto loot mod does all the work for you, automatically collecting loot from crates, defeated enemies and creatures the moment you come within range. If you'd like to enhance visuals in this game, I certainly recommend Ultra Plus. The mod improves lighting, expands ambient occlusion options, makes reflections better, and fixes several visual bugs. The mod is highly customizable and works well with different hardware. The mod has various lighting presets, which we can cycle through without closing the game. You can see on your screen a few examples of these presets. With this mod, the game looks absolutely stunning, so it's definitely worth checking out. There's also a reshade that significantly brightens the overall atmosphere. With the new visuals, the game starts to feel like a warm fantasy movie. Since it's a reshade preset, we can tweak plenty of options, like changing bloom level, adjusting color intensity, and other similar stuff. Just be careful not to ruin everything. Almost all mods from CurseForge are compatible with each other, except wand mods and those flying mist mods. You'll need to choose only one from each group. When it comes to mods from Nexus, then it's a bit more complicated, since they can be unpredictable at times. If you plan to use them, make sure to back up your saves regularly. You'll find all the mods from this and my other videos in the video description. If you enjoy my content, you can support me on Ko-fi. And make sure to subscribe to this channel and check out other mod videos. Thank you for watching and See you next time!